Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 230. See, it feels like a big round number, doesn't it? You know, like me, 230. On Thursday, the 23rd of January, 2025, I'm Marie.
And I'm Dominique.
Yay. Well, what is the answer? You didn't know. If you didn't know.
That's not going to put much power into my phone, is it?
No, I've just been plugging my...
let's get that plugged in.
iPad in and trying to get it so that the cable's not too stretchy.
Well, I plugged it in the phone, but then I was sat on the other end. Anyway, we're in now.
Well, that's not going to work, is it? Let's just get sorted.
Are we the right way round? I can't even see.
Are we the right way round? I haven't even logged on yet. Let's have a look. Are we the right way round? Yes, we're the right way round. Good Lord, we've got something right.
Yes, right.
There we go. Hello, everybody. Hello. Have you all got used to this new day, new time? It completely throws me because I forget that it's on a Thursday. So then I remember, oh, it's at 6 o'clock tonight. But then I think today's Friday. So once I've done this, I think that today's Friday evening and it's the start of the weekend. And
but you did say to me this morning after knitting, I'll see you at 3.
I did. But literally, as soon as this is finished, I feel like it's Friday. So then I actually feel like I gain a day because I'll wake up tomorrow and go, oh, it's Saturday. Oh, it's not, it's Friday. Not difficult, is it?
I know we've had messages of people saying, oh, it's a real shame because I can't watch live because it clashes with something else. But it was always going to be the same. But we also know that there are people that can catch us live now that couldn't on a Friday. So... yeah. For those of you that have had us live for 4 years, we are sorry, but you can always catch up.
Yeah, we like to change things up. But yeah, it's really weird, isn't it? I mean, it's not difficult. You know, there's only 7 days in the week, but I still get giddy because I think, oh, tonight's Friday night.
Now you see, Victoria's eating lunch with us rather than breakfast.
Oh, that's much better, Victoria, isn't it? But have you had to run back from the gym? That's the important thing.
That's normally knitting on a Wednesday, isn't it?
You know, you can't be doing all that running about too much. Anyway, if you can hear clicking, because I said to Dominic, can you hear clicking in the background?
Yes.
It's the fire. The fire's on.
Yeah.
It's been flipping freezing in here today because I haven't had the fire on for a few days. Electrical
click or something.
Yes. But... to start off with, I thought it was a car outside, like a beeping. And then I thought, oh no, it's in the room. In the room. Oh, I do. Oh, yeah. Oh, good. I'm pleased you're not running about then. But yes, I think people, like you say, some people are now able to come because they finished work, but then other people, it's like meal times or kids. And
yeah, Anita's just finished her dinner. So
yeah,
we're never going to please everybody, but for my sanity, it's working better.
And mine was, do I eat something now? Because David's going out. So I'm like, do I eat early or do I eat later? And he can, we can sort ourselves out. Do you know what I mean? It's like that weird time, isn't it? 6 o'clock. Because I would never eat at 6 o'clock. It's a bit early, but yeah. Sometimes by the time we get finished on it, it's like 7:30, 7:45, isn't it? By the time we finish talking.
Yeah.
So never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, you've got a special phone alarm.
Oh, you're not the only one, Eve. I know. Well, we've been sat at a retreat, and people's alarms have gone off because they've said that's my alarm to remind me it's WITA.
I mean, to be fair, that Zoom does send me, as it's, if we went past the 6 o'clock, it would send me a message going,
yes,
and so I wouldn't forget that way. That's not to say that I may not be at home on Thursday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, you can't see, but it says meeting WITA episode 230. So
bless. Anyway, so yeah, we were just talking on knitting the other day. This month feels like it's got 8 weeks in it. Does anybody else feel the same?
I think I'm the only one that doesn't. It's flown by for me.
I like January because it's like a new year. It's I look forward to January in some ways, but my God, it feels like it's been going on for 6 weeks.
Yeah. No,
you've been busy though. You've been away. You've been doing stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. When you were all saying it, I was thinking, no, definitely not for me. It is February next week.
I know. I mean, I know January's a long month, isn't it? It's one of those where you look at, you think, why did they do that after Christmas? Like you got all them extra days for payday. Do you know what I mean? It's like it feels like a long month. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
and
it feels like a long month financially for me because in January I have a boiler to be serviced, I have a car to be taxed, MOT'd and serviced. It's not a good time.
No. But you see, my car service and everything falls in December, which again you think, oh, why did that happen? Anyway, less of the morning. Yes, there's a few people saying it feels like it's a long month.
Well, if it's felt like a long month, how are you all getting on with your springtime wrap or your hint of springtime wrap? Because that's looking forward to spring, isn't it? That's giving you something to look forward to, hopefully look forward to and enjoy.
Yes.
And
I was looking today, we've got the daffodil bulbs coming through. They're already coming through.
Yeah.
It just feels, it has been cold, but we really haven't, here, we really haven't had much snow or anything, have we? Do you know what I mean? So I was quite surprised that they're coming through quite a lot.
I mean, I had daffodils in my shopping delivery on Sunday, but my bulbs, I'm not quite sure what they are, but my spring bulbs there must be 8 inches, but they've been like that since before Christmas. It's bonkers.
Bonkers.
It is absolutely bonkers.
Yes, people are saying they're at different stages. I've finished my crochet one up to date now. So shall we start with that? Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mandy's just saying she's finished the glue. So pretty. Thank you, Mandy. Anita's up to date with the wrap. Perfect.
On this.
Janet's on the second repeat of pattern 2.
Yeah, people have said they found that one. People have either loved it or hated it. It's a bit like Marmite, I think. But Janet, if you weren't aware, you can do that stitch without a cable needle. And some people have found that it's a lot easier to do. So there are some links, and I think you put a link on, was it last week's podcast?
Yes.
Did you? Yeah.
Oh.
So if not, we'll put one on this. We'll put one on this week's. But I thought you'd done it last week.
There's one in the Facebook Knit and Natter page.
But
there might be. But I'll make a note to do it.
It's my fault because I didn't use a cable needle when I did it. But to write it out, the instructions are quite long-winded, and it can make a fairly simple stitch really complicated. But what I've done, I've made a note of it so that when the pattern is published, I'll put on that if you want to do it without a cable, and I'll do a link to a little bit of a YouTube video. And I'll also as well, because I think some people have done the white bit, the cream bit, undyed bit, whatever you want to call it. Some have done it as the pattern says stocking stitch. Some have done it as garter stitch. So I think I'll write in the pattern that you can do either. Do you know what I mean? Because do whatever you like. Some people hate it, some people don't. So like we've said, it's your shawl. I know it's the pattern and you've bought it to follow it along.
But also, by the time the pattern's released, it's always at the end of the make-along.
Yes.
We'll have pictures of different versions for people to look at. So but because it was a make-along, we didn't, we've just done it as a bit of a, go with it. Let's see what it's going to be. Well, I've just seen Marjorie's commented. Marjorie's gone completely rogue because she's using the colours, but a completely different pattern, and it looks stunning. So, like we say, make it up as you go along.
I have finished mine. Oh, look, I've just pulled out some of the crochet. Well, it doesn't matter. I know where I'm at. So I'm doing the crochet version. It's all a bit misshaped because it's just been scrumpled up, so it needs a really good blocking.
Yeah.
So they are the 3. Now, don't panic if you're looking at mine and thinking, oh, Marie, you've got more rows. Yes, Marie has got more rows because I'm such a tight crochet. Even though I've gone up a hook size, I still had more yarn. And I didn't want to have a load of yarn left over. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I've done an extra 2 row repeats on mine.
Yeah. While you've got yours, Janet, I'm about the same as you. I'm halfway through the second repeat of the second colour.
Because how different does the second colour look there? Mine to yours. Mine looks like blue and pink.
Yeah, I just don't think that is the best.
Yeah, that's a bit better. You can sort of see, but mine looks very blue, doesn't it? Isn't it weird how it just looks so different on the?
I mean, mine almost looks like you've got a row of each colour.
It's just, and then look at that's gone like, I love that colour. That colour's got some really nice tones in it. But just how different they look. You don't like it, do you?
No.
Yes.
No. But 2 or 3 people have said, "Oh, I really like colour 3." Each to their own.
Yeah,
but
that's beautiful. I think that's a really pretty colour as well, Dominic. The first one.
The first one's my favourite so far.
I like the second one. Not my favourite, but you know, it ties them in nicely.
Yes.
Yeah, they look different, don't they?
But knitted and crochet, we were saying this morning on knitting because you'd got your Festive Cocktail box.
Yes.
Knitting. Eve has just finished a big wrap scarf. And who else had got theirs?
Oh, Jen.
Oh.
Yes, Jen.
Yes. Is she knitting a garment?
No, it's a shawl. It's like a...
Oh, it's the painting brick shawl.
It's a painting brick shawl.
I mean, for goodness sake, that was like less than 8 hours ago. But all 3 of you held them up, and yours and the painting bricks are small. They're like small, whatever, bits of knitting. Yeah. And Eve's is done in short rows, but in wedges. The colours look so different.
But we've done this before, haven't we? When we've put things together, you know, it just makes such a difference on what the pattern is. So when sometimes you get colours and we know ours are bright, you know, they were bright, weren't they? So if you think, oh, I'm not keen on the really bright colours, depending on what pattern you do, it completely changes it, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
Sorry, just while we're talking, there's a couple of people saying they'd like the link. I'm going to find the link to that YouTube video and put it in the chat now.
Yes.
And I will do it later.
Well, we could even do after this, I'll put a post on social media as well.
Yes.
And I'll also include it in the newsletter that we send out every week on a Friday. I'll also put a link in there, so it's like belt and braces. We've got it everywhere. And while we're talking of the newsletter, if you aren't subscribed to our website, you don't receive the newsletter. So if you want to receive the newsletter, subscribe to the website. Sometimes there's different things in there. Sometimes we do put stuff that's on social media because we're very aware that some people don't do social media. So that's why you might get some stuff and think, well, I've seen these photos before. I've seen that before. It's because we want to just try and cover it, isn't it? So people who don't see social media, who don't do Facebook and Instagram, and some days, I'll be perfectly honest, I wished I didn't do it. Do you know what I mean? Because the garbage that's on there, in particular on Facebook, I like go on hours and think, I'll just sort out what I need to do there. There's another group I'm on that I look at, and then apart from that, I don't look at anything because it's just it's best not to sometimes, isn't it?
I've put the link in the chat now. Joe's saying still on pattern 2, and I'm making it up as I go. Joe, just go with it, because I've just for everyone I've like, that's how you do it properly, and then I go off piste, and then it gets back again. So
you can't tell, Dominique, there where you've got it. You can't really tell that it's not how it should be.
No, it's only a patch of it. So I just lost concentration. So if you are someone like me that can carry on and not worry about, I got to the end of the row and I was on a cable front and I should have been on a cable back, and I thought, what on earth have I done there? And I thought, well, I am not unpicking this row. I'm going with it. So, Joe, you make it up. It's then uniquely yours.
Joe, how was the show? Because it was
Waltham Abbey.
Abbey Wool Show. Was it a good show? Were you busy? Did anybody go?
Other than Joe, did anyone go?
Did anybody go?
Is your next one the Northwest show, Joe? Is that your next show?
Because I've just booked for that. We were talking about it this month. I've booked my room. I'm going to stay at the hotel. I'm going to go over on the Saturday. Yeah, I'm going to be getting into mischief with Marjorie and Sue.
Oh dear.
I mean, anything could happen. I
Yeah.
do have to get up early and leave though for the next morning, so I can't get into too much trouble, can I? Can't get into too much mischief. We can't, we won't be going on the big roller coaster, will we? The Big Dipper.
Joe's just no, not Joe. Tracy's just retracted a message, but I just caught it. It might be because you know the answer, Tracy, but no. If you are doing the knitted version, there are 12 new patterns.
You never do it again.
No.
So next, when the pattern comes out again for the knitted version,
Yes,
there'll be another 3 sections.
yes,
For the crochet, you are repeating the patterns that you've got now.
yes.
But there is a difference in when you repeat the. It'll all be written out for you again. Don't panic. But yes, the knitted version, you will end up with 12 separate stitches.
If you want to,
yeah. If you don't want. And the beauty is the pattern comes along. So if there's another one that you think I don't like that, or
yes.
I don't like knitting that sort of thing, just repeat another one, or just do garter stitch. Just do knit one, knit 2 together, yarn or do you know what I mean? Just
pick your favourite pattern. Yeah, it is. I mean, Janet's obviously someone that can't cope because she said she'd had to rip 6 rows out because the pattern wasn't right. And everyone's different, but I thought, well, I should make it right because it's our pattern, it'll be a sample. But I didn't.
What we could do then, because obviously I've done the original pattern because when I was doing it, but my colours are slightly different.
Yes.
So what I can do, now that we've done the first 3 and you've all seen the pattern, I can take close-ups of the pattern and I can put it on social media, but I'll do it in black and white. Because I think I might confuse you if you see mine in a completely different colour, because mine original is in, I think it starts off on a different colour. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'll do that. If that would help, do you think that would help? But I'll just put it on in black and white so you can see what the first 3 patterns were, because everybody's had it now. Everybody's either started it or they've looked at it.
Yes.
So I can give you that.
Yeah.
If that helps.
We're interrupting Jo making apple crumble. She's had to wash her hands. One from Abby was great, really busy in the morning. She's at Blackpool and looking forward to seeing everyone there.
Nice. Jo, I might have ordered the little love gifts, the little love bag. Just take it to, if you're sending them out then, just take it to Blackpool and I'll get it off you at Blackpool, save on postage. Might have slipped into the basket, I do like your little like themed event bags that you do, like you did the Valentine's Day one and the Easter ones. Yeah. So yeah, don't post it to me. Just if it's not a hassle, just bring it with you. So talking of
Jo, Marjorie's saying same for her. I mean, Jo, you can have a store that's now just going to be filled with boxes.
Sorry.
It does save on postage, though.
It does save on postage. So, do you want to see how I've got on with my
Little Gemstones?
Little Gemstones. I have only got 1 more row to do, I think. And then I'll make a decision. So I've done 1.5 whole rows since last week. So I've done so I've got quite a lot of them on now.
Yes.
But I have got quite a lot left. So that's inside my bag. They're still decent sized balls. So even if I do another row, I think it's going to be big enough for what I want it. I don't want a huge, massive shawl. So I've been having a think what I might do with it. And I've been looking in the doodle directory that you got me for Christmas. And Marjorie's shown us this morning, wasn't she? Her beautiful colour work cowl that she's doing.
Yes. And
I thought, I could do that. I could use some of those colours and do an infinity cowl. I've got to be careful because obviously there's a bit to the pattern written on.
Yes.
But all you do...
Almost like a sampler.
Yes, like a sampler.
Yes.
And go through it. And it's really good because it does, the stitch count it's got everything in, and they're all roughly they're all the same size. So you've got loads to choose over the same stitch count.
Yes.
So I think I might do that, and I might use an undyed, and then pick out the brightest colours and do it that way.
Yes.
And just do a cowl. I think that might look quite nice.
Yeah.
And it's a while since, excuse me, I've done any, colour work, fair isle or whatever. So it was, I was just thinking today, because we were talking about what we're going to do, what WIPs have we got and bits and pieces. I thought, what do I want to do? I don't really want to do another shawl, because I was umming and ahhing about doing a shawl. I'm doing garment. I've got another jumper that's been on the go, and I'm sorry, Victoria, it's wool that you gave me ages ago, and it's still a t-shirt, and I am umming and ahhing as to, is it the right thing for it? Because I love the wool, but I just need to get it out again and look at it and see what I'm doing with it. And I thought, do you know what? I really fancy doing some colour work that's like short, like little patterns, and then do another bit.
Yes.
So that's what I think. It was funny because I was just looking at all the colours in my bag like that, and I thought, do you know what? They would really lend itself to some colour work, wouldn't they?
Yes.
So that's my plan.
Yeah. Do you know what you could do though? You could make that your background colour and have your undyed or a really dark as your...
I could, couldn't I?
Because then you're going to see the colour. Because if you use the colour for the colour work, one, you're not going to use much of it, and two, you're not going to see as much.
I'll have to have a play. I might have to have a play then, see which would look better.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so that was my plan, because I just looked and thought, I wanted, I asked for the book, and I really like the idea that you can pick and mix and all the hard work's been done for you, really.
Yes.
You've got to just know that that's what your stitch count is, because ultimately I wanted it as well so that I can use the Tin Can Knits recipe.
Yes.
Where it tells you how to do the yoke that I've done before, and it says you need a stitches of however many, and then it just does it all for you. It works it out. So I thought that might be nice.
That was the same with that festive yoke sweater that I ripped out in the end. That was lots of motifs, all the same stitch count, and you just picked and chose which ones you wanted where. And it is the same idea, isn't it? It's just same stitch count.
Yeah.
Do it as you want.
So that's my knitting for this evening. I have actually got it in my head now, so I don't need to look at the pattern. Right. It's only taken me nearly towards the end, but I think it's because I've been picking it up, doing a little bit, putting it back down, picking it up, where I've sat for an hour or so and got it and thought, why didn't I just do this before? So it's in my head now.
Yeah.
So yeah, what have you got then? What have you been up to?
I mean, the other day, I mean, I'll show you just the name because I've not got any further, but I am nearly at the lace section.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure I'm going to work on this for a while, but it's the Eyeblink by Heidi Alander.
Yeah.
And I think I need to be up to about 276 stitches, and I'm about 220. Oh, I'm stuck on something in the bag.
I will, Anita. I will bring the books for the afternoon tea. Do me a favour, just remind me before then. But I will. Hopefully, it'll be my working project, because I'm going to try and cast it on when I've got this. When I've got the shawl finished.
I mean, you can't see much of it, but
you've done a lot though.
Because it's just easy. It's just easy backwards and forwards. The longish rows now. But
have you got anything to put behind it to just?
I mean, I've still got. I'm not waiting.
Yeah.
I've still got more than half of it left.
The lace is going to take up a lot though, isn't it?
But you can really see the tonal.
Oh, yes. Very nice.
You can I mean, it's ever so... Well, you can see how loose the gauge is because you can see the paper behind.
Yeah.
But it's on a 4.5. 4.5 for 4-ply. So... But it's coming along. This was just something I didn't need to think about. And I really ought to just push on and get it to the point where I'm ready for the lace. So I know the next time I
Yes.
pick it up, I'm ready for the lace. I might, if I get a chance this weekend, I might, but I really need to crack on with the hint of springtime wrap. But I mean, it's got, this is 45% silk. So it's really, it feels really nice.
Yeah, nice.
But that was just easy working on. So I think it will go away. I'll probably try and get it. I think I've got about 10 or 12 rows left to do, something like that. If I can get them done, then I know it's ready for the lace when I want something to think about.
Yeah.
But so
have you been working on anything else then?
Well, then I had to cast on. I'd forgot. I mean, I'm no good at giving presents because I give presents and completely forget what I've given. But I obviously gifted my friend, or didn't I gave her a pair of socks, hand knit socks, for her birthday last year. And she asked me if I'd knit her another pair. Oh, yes, of course. So fortunately, I was away with her this weekend. So I was like, and she was wearing them. I said, well, just, I'll have to show you next week. I've got a finished object because I was taking a pair of socks that just needed the rib doing. And I'd finished the rib. So I got to take the socks off and I've just laid them on top of the socks I'd just finished so I could try and work out how long they needed to be. So her birthday's in March. So I've got a little time. But with other things on, I thought I need to get them started.
Have you not got any already knit in your box that you keep knitting them?
Not. She's only a like size 4.5. I mean, they were Diddy.
Lord, like tiny feet.
I mean, I tried counting the rows, and I think I've written it. I think there's the legs only like 36 rows, and then 15 in the rib or something. I'd only cast on 60 stitches. I mean, I don't know what I was doing when I made these socks.
Well, that's the sort of sock you want to be knitting for somebody with small feet, not somebody with size 10 feet, isn't it?
So I thought, right, well, let's go in my stash that's dwindled, and I've just cast on a pair of toe-up socks in Cherry Blossom that I bought from Giddy Yarns at the very first Wool Monty, which I think was in 2019.
It could have been. Was it not even before that? Was it not in 2018? Because Dad came to 2. Dad came to 2.
Well, I thought we did our first yarn tale in 2018.
I mean, there's no point in asking us because we'll get it all wrong.
No.
Anyway,
I've got some exactly the same.
It was before COVID.
It was before COVID.
Yeah.
So I've had that in my stash for at least 5.5 years. So I've just cast them on.
Nice.
It doesn't matter, but the toe was a 20 gram, but it was clearly the first colour. It's the same colour as the first stripe.
Yeah.
Because that's the first stripe. And you can't, you can there. So there's blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going back into the blue. So there's it's 5 colours in there.
Nice.
And I'd just done the socks I'd done for her. I'd just done a 1x1 cable, and then I've just done another one there, and I've done 3, but I'm just going to do 2.
It matches my jumper.
Yeah. But I just thought if they fit her, she said, oh, it doesn't need to be the same pattern. I thought, well, I will just do, and then it's as close as I can get.
Yes.
To what the others were. So I thought if I don't start them, I need to start them while I've got what I've kind of written down as the recipe.
Yeah.
So it was a 50 gram ball and Diddy socks with a contrast for the toe, whatever. I've got plenty. So
nice.
I just thought you can't in this light. I can't really see the different colours, but you can when you hold it up there.
Lovely.
So I've thought, well, not that it would have mattered, but I thought there's no point using 100 grams when I've got this 50-gram gobstopper that I've bought however many years ago. So
yeah.
that
Oh,
is
good. So that's a new cast on then.
That's a new cast on.
Very
and
good.
I've got 6 weeks, I would think, to knit them.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Which is plenty of time, but when
Yeah.
you've got other things on,
Yeah. But at least they're easy to sit and do. What you don't have to think about it, do you?
No.
So you can just be sat watching football or something and just concentrate on it a bit, and they'll soon
they're a
grow.
good knit and natter knitting.
Yeah.
I'm sure some of the make along patterns will be knit and natter ones, but at the minute they're not. So but yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful colour, and she's a lot more of a girly girl than me, so she'll love the colour. But yeah, she just said, oh,
good.
Would you mind? No, I can do that. She said, they just fit beautifully and I wear them all the time. And I thought, well, to get them the same fit again, you're going to be lucky.
You need to write it down somewhere, put it in your phone.
I've written down what I think I've done, roughly counting the rows, but taken pictures of them flat so I can. I mean, it's not very accurate, but I can work it out, and then I'm writing it down as I go.
It'll be near enough, won't it?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was sat the other day, I was on a Zoom and like listening to stuff, and I managed to crack on a bit more with my Madrigal yarn one. So Christmas Pines, that one. So because I'd pulled it out because it was too big, so I was just sat there, and it's easy, like you say, you can just be sat and you're just twiddling away and getting that done. So that's the only sock I've got on my needle at the minute. So that's
what was it called?
Christmas Pines. That was the Christmas colourway.
Pies or pines?
Please, pines.
Pines.
Yes, pine. But I haven't got anything else. But we were sort of laughing this morning on Knit and Natter of like, what the heck are we going to talk about? I didn't seem to have very much, and people go, well, what about looking back at things you have made? So I've had a rummage, and I've gone with a bit of a theme. So I've got all my Stephen Wests that I've knit.
Right, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to find my finished objects because I'd forgot about it until I sat
you
down.
go and find your finished objects. Now, the only one, so I've got my shawls that I've knit.
Oh, no.
So, I mean, if you're expecting me to remember what they are, that's what you're all going to be typing for. The only one I haven't got is my macaroni one, because I've tried to like blank that one out. I don't know where it is. I may have gifted it because I knew I was never going to wear it. So I've either gifted it or I've hidden it somewhere. But I think I've gifted it. I can't remember. I mean, that's terrible, isn't it? You'd think I'd be able to remember. So I'm going to try and... I can't even remember what sort of order I've done them in. I can't remember which was my first one. I think this was my first one. I mean, this is like totally disorganized. And I can't remember what it was called. Oh, I think this one was Slipstravaganza, and I think that was my first one. I did try and do the snowflake 8 years ago. It was when we first started, wasn't it? First started. So it's about 7, 8 years ago that I tried to do the snowflake, and I just couldn't get the stars into my head. I was sat in the car. Remember, we were going somewhere.
We were coming back from Cardiff.
And I just couldn't do it. I was like thinking, well, I don't understand it. And all you kept going is, stop looking at that video, because all I can see is his hairy hands and his voice was
I was driving, going round a roundabout in Cardiff that I didn't know. Marie's going, what do you think this means? I need to get out of Cardiff.
So I was still a bit on a learning curve with my knitting, do you know what I mean? And I just couldn't get it. So that went in a corner somewhere. But I think the first one that I embraced was is this the Slipstravaganza? I think it is, isn't it?
I mean, it looks like it.
I think that was my first one I ever finished, and that was using up stash yarn. So some of it's ours and some of it isn't. So the undyed, it's done with Donegal. So I've got the undyed Donegal in. I know that was a yarn that I'd bought that looked a bit camouflagey. That's definitely our mustard. Our undyed yak. That's something that we did in silk when we had the silk. Then I held a little bit of blue mohair lace that we had. Can you remember when we dyed some mohair lace?
Yes.
So this is a real mismatch. But do you know what?
Lisa's confirming it's Slipstravaganza.
It is. I absolutely love this. Now, again, I don't think I did all the extra bits on the end, but I love this shawl. I love the colours of it. I need to wear it more. So it's been quite good actually getting them out. These are the ones that are hung up that I do reach for, because a lot of them are in a bag that I don't really wear. So that was Slipstravaganza. That was the first Stephen West shawl I ever did. And I loved it so much. I made another. I got carried away. That was the only year I've ever got carried away and made two. So I then did it in these pinks, which I love as well. And again, I think this was a bit of a mismatch of some of our yarns.
2020.
So that's our yak magenta. I have no idea what those bits are. Then we've got olive magenta. Purple. I think that was one of our first, pale. I don't know.
No.
It was. That's definitely one of ours because I remember the colourway. And that was a one of a kind that turned, that we just had somewhere. So again, I really loved that shawl, and it's not massive. It's a nice shape. So they were the very first two I did, and then of course I got the bug of doing his make-alongs and just going with it. Can't remember which the next one was. I think the next one was the macaroni one that I did, which I can't remember, and I really didn't particularly enjoy that. I found that quite. It wasn't difficult. I just didn't like the look of it, and I think it was the wool I chose because I went all complete sparkly. And it was midnight sparkle. It had ocean sparkling. It had bright pink. It was just, so I have no idea where that's gone. I think I gifted it, or it could be in the wardrobe somewhere, hidden and not in the area that I would keep the shawls that I want to wear. Then I'm thinking this was next, which was our
Trailing
detective
cables.
Box. Trailing cables. That was our detective box, wasn't it?
Yes.
So I can't remember when that was either. And that's the triangular version. So that was done in double knit. And again, that's a really
2021.
A really nice shawl, but I don't really wear it because it's that funny shape again. Big triangle that I'm not a fan of because I feel like I've got a big bib on. I mean, I'm putting it on really nicely there, aren't I? Because you did one of these as well, didn't you? You made one of these in the
I made
rainbow.
that. You made the rainbow one.
Yeah,
I
which
made
I've got
it in
next.
blues.
Yeah, but you did the triangular shape, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, so you did that shape. And again, I really liked doing that pattern. It was really simple to do. And I love doing the cross bits on it. So let's just fling that out of the way. I then did the semicircle version because it was like two patterns at the same time. So I did the
Spiraling cables triangle,
which I loved. I love this shawl, and I do wear it. I wear it quite a bit in summer.
Maybe that is trailing cables. I'm on his page.
I can't think.
It was spiraling cables triangle. So the other one must have been trailing cables because there was one was one and one was the other.
I love knitting it, and I really love the end result of it. And I do wear this one. It is quite big, so I do wear it. You can wear it as a bit of a what do you call it? A poncho. I made myself a brooch as well to go with it. So that was the next one I made. And like I say, I'm forgetting all about. I've forgotten my most recent one. That's because it's hung up with my coat.
GoGo Dynamo.
What was the one with the macaronis on? Can you remember?
I can't. That's what I'm looking for.
Can anybody else remember? I'm back in a minute. I'm just going to go and get me most recent one because that is my favourite one. Out of all of them, it is my favourite one. I can't remember what it was called.
Twist and Turns? GoGo Dynamo.
No, I've got that next one.
GoGo Dynamo was last. I mean, the trouble is I'm now moved away from our page so I can look, but let me go back because Lisa will have. Oh no, she's
what
not.
it was called with the macaronis in it.
Shawlography. I knew Lisa.
Shawlography. That was
I better go and check because Lisa will have put it on.
Well done, Lisa. Shawlography. Yeah. So I didn't like that. Anyway, excuse me. So then I went on to this is Twist and Turns, and I love this. Although I moaned and I moaned about these because that was the first week. Can you remember? We had all that lot to do in the first week. All that Rapunzel blooming, which is beautiful when it's finished, but oh my lord, it was so much knitting to do for the first week. But again, I love this because of the shape. It's a really shallow one. I like that. So that's all our yarn. So that was ultra blue, emerald, navy, and then I put a little bit of red mohair in that. But I like it because it had a bit of everything in the cables. I like the cables at the bottom. So that was a favourite one. Yeah, shawlography. Yeah, I'm going to forget that one completely. Then of course we had. So that was what year are we on now?
2022.
2022. So 2023 was the one that caused all the controversy, wasn't it?
Yes.
I can't even remember what it was called. What was this one called? GoGo. No, that was this year.
I'm looking.
Well, I mean, I said this would happen when we were talking about doing it, and it was Eve's idea to do it, so we'll blame Eve.
In fact, I'd be better off just looking back through my book.
What was it called? Geometry something, wasn't it? It was something to do with geometry.
Geogradient.
Geogradient.
Was that it?
Done. Yeah, could have been. So I love the colour. I love this bit of it. I love this bit. I love that bit. I really like this stitch here. Really enjoyed doing that. I mean, you'll find a theme to a lot of my Stephen West. I never do them as big, so I always finish off where I can. And I added bobbles to mine. I love that side of it. Love the other side of it. I hate the middle bit. Because it had to be changed because it came up as a sign that nobody wanted to see in some of the shawls. So I did do it. I just went in for it because I didn't want to get behind, and I really wished I hadn't done this pattern because I just don't feel it goes with the rest of it. And I was talking to somebody at a show, and I was saying, you know, I could just chop it off and pick the stitches up, but I'm not going to do that, am I? And I know when I wear it, I tend to wear it like that. So I wear it like a shawl like that, so you don't see that bit, and you just see the nice stitches. But it irritates me. What more can I say?
Well done, Victoria and Anita. They were there, Geogradient.
And that was done in all of our yak colours, wasn't it? So that's the undyed, the mustard, the chestnut, and the orange. Yes. So I love the colours. It's such a shame because I think that bit of it's absolutely beautiful. I really like that textured stitch on it. It's really pretty. And then my favourite of all of them is the one that we did last year, which was GoGo Dynamo. I love this. And I think because of its simplicity in the colours, it's just two colours. And I know I said I wasn't going to do it, but as soon as I saw that it was two colours, I was really interested in doing it because all of these other shawls that I've done have all been 4 colours, 5 colours. And it just, if you don't get them right, it can just look a bit too much. But this, and I wear this quite a lot, which is why I couldn't find it because it was inside my coat. That is my favourite one of all time. I just love that one. I really, really love this shawl. That's my favourite shawl. It's only taken me how many years to get there?
4.
So let's see what comes next. No, 5.
2020, 2021, 22, 23, 24.
Oh yes, I'm counting these as 2. So yeah, I love that. So have you got a favourite one? Have you been doing them all? What's your thoughts on doing the next one? Oh, and that's in mustard and navy on yak as well. Because you've never done them, have you? You've done a jumper of his, haven't you?
I did a jumper of his and I really didn't like the pattern. I've done that shawl. Well, it was all right. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm never going to do them.
No, you're not. And there's a lot of people that go, no, they're not for me. I do quite like that challenge of, you don't know what it is. I learn something every time I do them because there's different stitch techniques and different ways of doing them. So I find them interesting on that level.
For me, I think it's unrealistic for a lot of people. His weekly things, he pushes people. Yeah, there's just lots and everyone's different. There's just, I really don't like that he gets you to buy 500 grams of yarn and you use 300 grams and lots of things. But that's me, and you know, everyone is completely different, and that's why do everyone do what you want. That's what we said with our shawls. Yeah, make it right for you. So yeah, I'm never going to do them.
Yeah, and I might do it again this year, but I think it will depend on how many balls of yarn you need with it again. Do you know what I mean? Because I think I like them so much with just 2 colours in it. Clicked it there.
Yeah, Lisa's saying she's done Slipstravaganza and Starflake and loves them both. Anita said she's only done Geogradient and she really likes 2 colour ones.
Yeah.
I did have one of his other wraps, can't remember the name.
I think that's the thing. I think what I might do is, because I like the 2 colour one, I think if I'm going to do one, I would only want to do one in 2 colours. So it's whether the next one can be done in 2 colours, because some people do choose to do them in 2 colours, you know what I mean? So there's nothing stopping me.
And Lisa says she's done Exploration Station as well. She forgot about that.
Because is it Rockefeller? That's a 2 colour one. I quite like that one.
Batad. I've not heard of that one.
That's a fairly new one. He just keeps. Today I saw that he's released and I nearly fell for it. It's just a really small one. What's it called? Begins with a P. Is it Pierre or something? He's just done a new release of like a little shawl, short scarflet. Pedro
Picnic.
It's his last pattern. He's just been on social media today. Let me. Well,
these are in. I don't know how to refilter. Oh,
West Knits. Well,
I'm in publication date. It says, but that's not right because it says
it's this one. It's this little one.
Gossamer.
This little one. I thought, quite like that. That's it there. It's only a little scarflet, and it's called the Glow Hair Frost Scarflet, but it's in it's to do with his hibernate along. I could have sworn that there was something to do with Pete. I've imagined it, or maybe it was that there was a code.
Lisa's saying it's the glow thingy scarf.
Yeah. Oh, it's the Pierre hat. That was it. Because there's actually a discount on it at the minute. If you go on Ravelry, there's a discount code to buy the little ebook. Do you know what I mean? I thought I'd seen something beginning with Pierre. I mean, honestly. And I looked at it and thought, quite like that little. I'm just reading to see, where have I seen the code? I haven't imagined it. I know I haven't imagined it. Is it on his? No. I think it says there was something on Ravelry anyway, that if you put a code in, you got some money off it. But that's his new hibernate along thing that he's doing. Is anybody doing it? Because I know one year it was the log. What was that cabin one? That
Aurora cabin.
That was one of his hibernates, and that's a beautiful shawl. So I just thought I'd show you those. So they're all my West knits.
Well,
that I've done.
I've got two other things that are not knitting related. Like, I'm pleased Wendy's on.
Oh,
because, Victoria was showing me the world's smallest jigsaw that she'd started, or she was showing me last week. So when I came back at the weekend, I thought, right, I'm going to start it. So this is the picture.
Oh my Lord. Where's that a castle? Bavaria or somewhere?
It's the, I mean, Victoria knew it without me even. Is it Dracula's Castle?
Dracula's Castle, yeah, I thought it was.
It's like
Bavaria.
Neuschwanstein Castle.
Yeah.
But clearly not that, but I didn't do German. So I thought, right, Wendy, because I got this for Christmas, I'm going to start it. Look at the size of the pieces. Oh. What you can't do is drop them on the floor. You have to remember you've dropped one on the floor.
Oh my
I mean,
God.
It's like the size of my thumbnail.
I mean, that Wendy, that's worse than me giving you that flipping
It's 1,000 pieces and they are diddy. So I've started, it's on the table next to me.
It's the Beauty and the Beast castle.
Oh, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang Castle, Beauty and the Beast.
Germany.
It was obviously used
not
for
Dracula. And it looks familiar when you see it.
Well, I've not seen Beauty and the Beast, and I don't think I've seen Chitty Chitty Bang Bang.
Oh my
Bang
God.
Bang all the way through.
I mean, this drives me despair. The things you were deprived of as a child.
So I don't recognise it at all. But as soon as I showed Victoria the box, Victoria knew exactly where it was. It's in Germany anyway. Oh my goodness me. It is.
That is hilarious. That's a tiny jigsaw
It's
piece.
tiny. So the finished jigsaw, oh, it says it. It's like, it's tiny. I know I definitely found the dimensions because Victoria and I were saying, oh, it's 42 centimetres by 29 centimetres, the finished jigsaw.
I mean,
so
that's still a decent size jigsaw size, isn't it? But all them time. So my strategy of picking up a piece and then looking at the box, where does this go? Wouldn't work on that, would it?
No, it's like, I think it's like 2 bits of A4 paper next to each other. So that has been my, When she says, I know you like a challenge, it is going to be a challenge. So I thought, well, I'll just start with the sky because there's not much of it.
Oh my God.
I'd
be no good.
Anyway, so watch this space. It could be a long time before it gets finished. But because it's so tiny, it doesn't take up that much room on the dining room table.
You do know
it's A3 size, which is 2 bits of A4 next to each other. Yeah. I've got the edges done. I'm just looking and thinking, yes, it's a sheet of A3 and there's 1,000 pieces to go in there.
You do know there's a bit of a theme happening here, isn't it? Of you getting like really challenging jigsaws at Christmas, isn't it? And I think it's something we need to keep going.
I mean,
just to start your year off with a really.
This is going to be, well, I mean, I was going to say it with such confidence. I'm going to say it. This is going to be less than 24 hours. It's going to be less than candy canes. But it could be.
Yeah, you see, that one I got you will be easy compared to that.
Well, let's see. Let's see how we go. But I'm doing like half an hour at a time, and I'm lucky if I get 2 pieces put in. But anyway, we're going.
You see, so I'd be no good.
Victoria's doing one as well. No. Same company. Oh, Victoria, is yours somewhere in Scotland? I think Victoria's somewhere in Scotland.
I would have no patience for that whatsoever. Like zero amount of patience, because I would just find it. I like, as you know, and you laugh at me. Oh, I've got a little face here and I go across the picture and I look at it. That's how I do jigsaws. That's the only pleasure I get. trying to find that little picture on me front of my box. That's what I get pleasure in. Oh,
Yeah.
I found it. Anything else? When you were sat at that Christmas retreat and you were doing that flipping jigsaw without looking at the box, I thought you'd lost the plot. Because I'm like, how does she do it? Where's the pleasure in that? I'm like thinking, I don't get it. But I could see you were absolutely engrossed in it, and it brings you
Because
so
it's
much
solving
joy.
a puzzle.
It's solving a puzzle.
It's solving a puzzle, not.
And it's a Harry
Finding-
Potter train going over the
Yeah, that's
viaduct.
right. Yes.
So
Yes.
but it just goes to show, doesn't it, how everybody's brain works differently.
Yes.
I mean, we know that yours and mine works like on the complete opposite spectrums of each other, doesn't it? Completely.
Well, with lots of jigsaw puzzles, you get lots of different shapes, which really helps.
Yes.
But these are all the same shape. So you don't even get.
They're all exactly the same shape.
Well,
Wrong way, wrong way,
well,
wrong way. There you go.
You know, so some go that way and some
God.
go that way. And with
So
some
you don't even have wibbly wobbly ones.
You can see which way up they go, but with all the leaves and things, you haven't got.
I'm feeling anxious looking at it. I'm feeling anxious looking at it.
So, whereas before I just can sort all the pieces into shapes, you're only looking for a quarter of your pieces to find the shape. So,
can you remember you bought me a round one that had colour segments?
Yes.
Oh my God, that did my head in. I thought this will be all right because I'll just do the yellows. Yeah, but they're all yellow. Honestly, my brain doesn't work that I could see the
shape,
the shape.
shapes.
Just it doesn't work like that. Mine works visually on an image. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
When I was poorly that Christmas, I got it out, and I had all my little boxes to put them in, and I just felt like I was going insane because I just couldn't. My brain just couldn't compute. And then I'm thinking, well, it'll be all right. I know what I'll do. I'll do the bit in the middle, you know, where the colours merge. Yeah, that didn't work either. So I just put it back in the box. I thought that's for a day, whenever. Maybe when I'm in my little nursing home, when I'm 110, I'll get it out. Maybe my brain will work then.
It is going to be a challenge, but because Joe said at the weekend, because I bought Joe a jigsaw for Christmas, and it was skiers. Like it was a drawn image, not a photo.
Yes.
But she said, there's a lot of snow. So she said, I've got everything that is not snow. She said, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. So Sarah and I said, well, you just need to piece sort your shapes, sort your pieces. And she got back on Monday and sent us a picture, and she said, all of the sorted now, I'll be ready to crack on.
That wouldn't help me. That would not help me.
Yeah.
So I like a jigsaw. I do like to do a jigsaw, but I like a nice picture. I like one with lots of little different pictures in. That's my ideal jigsaw.
Well, this is not coming to a retreat.
Whatever. No.
This is not coming to a retreat because, well, we wouldn't have 1,000 pieces at the end.
No,
and
you'd lose it, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
My jigsaws need to come to the retreat, don't they? My jigsaw collection. I have a nice little bookshop where I can find that little book on a shelf and it goes there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there was that, and I've not shown. This was a Christmas gift that I've not shown because I didn't know if it was a one of a kind or not. But this is Joe's husband, and she said no, we started doing them. But I got a spatula, hand carved spatula. I get lots of different things. And I thought, well, I don't share it in case someone says, oh, what's that? Where did you get it from? And he's not doing them. But it just absolutely. So I will put a link to his company. He'd taken a break just before Christmas, but he's back to hand carving now.
Oh, is he? Because I went on because I wanted him to make me something. And I went on and I thought, oh, he's off. I wonder if he's stopped. Because you got me a coffee
scoop, yes,
a coffee scoop, and it's lovely. It's so tactile and so beautiful.
Yeah. I've got, because you got Andy to make me a whiskey tumbler.
Whiskey tumbler, yeah.
I've got this.
You've got a butter knife as well,
butter knife,
which is lovely, yeah.
That they're just so tactile.
Yeah,
I've got a pair of earrings, but he works as well. This is his hobby. So I think he got so busy before Christmas doing commissions and things and Christmas presents, obviously. But if you follow him on Instagram, just some of the photos he puts, you know, it's like, here's a lump of wood and here I am.
Beautiful work.
Really, really stunning. So, but I said to Joe, or Joe said, did you like it? I said, it's stunning. Is he making them, or was it a one-off? Should no, we will make them. So
they are beautiful.
Honestly, it's so tactile. It's so tactile.
It is bizarre, isn't it? Because he'll show a lump of wood, and then he'll show his drawings, and then it's there, and you think, oh my god, that's so amazing.
Yes. So I will share the details of him. But yeah, I'd not wanted to show it in case he'd just done it for me, but he hadn't. So
David's granddad used to do a lot of wood turning, and we've got a lot of things in the house that have been made by him. You know, like little fruit and little balls, and there's a rocking chair in the loft which that'll probably come out at some point. We used to have it, but we didn't have any space for it, and then part of it broke. But he made all that. He hand turned all the spindles.
Lisa, I'm going to put it in the link here, but it's called...
Is it Hand Carving Company?
It's The Hand Carving Co.
Because he's on Etsy, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to put it on because it's dark. You can't see it properly. And
Let me see if I can find it on Etsy.
This sounds silly, but I always have to find him through Facebook that takes me to his Instagram, that takes me to his Etsy, which is bizarre.
Let me have a look, because I've saved him as a shop.
I found his shop there. Oh, he's got a cherry wood coffee scoop in there at the minute.
Oh. But they're really...
There you go. I've put a link to his Etsy shop in the thing, and that'll have links to his Facebook and Instagram, but I'll put a link. Julie's just saying, I'm just learning wood turning now. As in on a lathe or by hand?
Because he does a lot by hand, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He literally hand carves it.
Because it was his birthday in the beginning of January, and he'd got a little axe as a birthday present, as you do. So a lot of what he does is all done by hand. But
is he self-taught? Did he just?
Yes.
That's amazing then, because he's.
Yes.
It's like you say, I can see you there, you were touching it. And when I got it, you can't help but touch it, because it's just so tactile. It's so nice.
And I would think, Julie, if you're learning it, that must be the same. I mean, I know a lump of wood doesn't start by being smooth, but there must be some satisfaction in taking a
lump of wood,
a log or whatever that's all barky, and just then making it that smooth and into them
David's
shapes.
dad's still got all the wood turning stuff in the shed, and like turning it on in like where you put the wood, and then all the tools. Yeah.
Julie's saying on a lathe, but I've been carving spoons because who doesn't need another hobby?
Exactly.
There's pottery classes just started, like a 3-minute walk from me. Well, I can't go because, like you say, it's just I think they're on a Wednesday night, which has helped me not go. But I think I would like that, but I haven't got time.
No, I've done it a few times, and I've got that for a present for Grace. She's just started a pottery class, and some of it's placed work, like using molds, but then they're using the Grace and I did a course once. There was a place in Lincoln, and we made our own teacup on the potter's wheel.
Yes.
It's that tactile thing, isn't it? But again, you don't need another hobby, do you? I keep looking at like jewelry making and silversmith and thinking, no, I haven't got enough hours in the day.
I know.
You got to be
either
realistic.
Jigsaw or knitting would have to go, and I'm not giving up either of them.
No, exactly. So
Oh, it's so satisfying in wood turning.
Oh,
Oh, and
pyro-
pyrography.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's been in my basket numerous times. A pyrography kit. You know, oh, I quite like that. No, step
Yes,
away from
needle cases, yarn bowls, and cake stands goes hand in hand.
it.
I have thought every now and again. I have thought of asking Andy, showing Andy what a yarn bowl
Oh,
is, and asking him to.
oh,
But I don't use them, so then I thought, well, there's no point. I
no.
mean, I ought to introduce Andy to them because Andy's taught himself to crochet as well.
Yes.
So he's
Yes.
crocheting.
Yeah.
So that would be perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought I don't use a yarn bowl. I mean, Joe's yarn tubs are beautiful, but I very, very rarely.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm knitting from the skein most of the time, so nothing's in a bowl. And then
you need him to make something for a skein, don't you?
Well, I've got the arm of the settee, but yeah, just I have a few times thought, oh, I ought to say, and then I thought, no, he's happy doing what he's doing. So,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Julie, you're right. They do go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. I think it's a lovely art, isn't it, to be able to make something like that.
Yeah. So one of my parents' friends, he did wood turning on a lathe and used to make pens.
Oh, nice wooden pen.
Yeah, they're really nice to write with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Joe, I think we're gonna have to go as well.
Yes, I think we need to.
We've kept you all night, so
enjoy yourselves. Have a good weekend, and if you do want to receive the newsletter and you haven't subscribed, all you need to do is go onto the website. Down at the bottom, there's a little subscribe, and then that just means you receive the weekly email. You don't have to. You know, you probably, if you're watching this, you'll probably pick up a lot of the stuff that we talk about on here.
And if you are doing the into springtime wrap make along, it's the first Zoom knit and natter on Monday,
6 p.m.
Yes,
a little bit earlier.
Should have got your links, but if you can't find it, then you've got the weekend to get in touch. We'll send it to you.
Yeah.
So we'll either see you on Monday or we'll see you next week.
And for those who've never done it before, don't panic if you've never even started it, or you've only done 2 rows. You can sometimes we don't even talk about it. Do you know what I mean? We like to show it, and then for the next hour we might just sit and chat about what was on television last night or something. It's very informal. It's very relaxed.
It is. And if you've not cast it on yet, it doesn't matter.
We're not going to be saying what have you done and why haven't you done it? Have you not caught up yet? No, that's never going to happen.
But also, if you're struggling, we're there you can ask questions and pick people's brains. So we will see some of you on Monday.
See some of you on Monday, and the rest of you will see
Thursday.
Next Thursday.
Yeah. See you later.
See you later, everybody. Have a good weekend.
Goodbye.
Bye.